I want to raise the issue of investment in our sewage infrastructure. This is an issue I've come across before, and I came across two new cases of it while campaigning in the local elections, one in Alderwood Grove and another in Glenview Park, both in Tallaght. This is a circumstance, I presume there are hundreds of cases like this across the country, whereby people have raw sewage coming out through a manhole in their back garden because the system is such that you have a private pipe from houses onto the public sewage line, and then the house at the bottom of the line, if there's a blockage further up the road, or if in the case of like in Glenview, it seems that simply too many new housing developments have been connected to this one pipe, that the house at the bottom is left with a situation of like a lot of water, with a lot of rain or a lot of usage, then raw sewage floods up through their back garden. And the issue in all these cases, I've experienced it repeatedly, is that they can't get to the bottom of who's responsible, who will deal with it. They go to the council, council says private matter, nothing to do with us. Then they go to Irish Water, and Irish Water says, again, nothing to do with us. And these people are not capable of dealing with the problem. The problem exists off their property, outside of their sewage line. It is like up the line, either, again, too many properties have been connected, or a neighbour up the road is putting in things like nappies or wipes or whatever in the toilet that shouldn't be, which is then causing a blockage. But it is a serious problem, and it's been exacerbated by the kind of offloading of the responsibility mostly from the council to Irish Water, and now a situation exists in every one of these circumstances where each one points at the other and no one takes responsibility.
Response, please.
All dominated the Cabinet Committee on the Economy, but these are all serious issues, and I don't doubt that. I'm just still getting used to where the question starts and where the issues go, but I'll do my best on these issues. But look, firstly to Deputy Barry and my now weekly exchange of what is a genuinely serious issue, and I'm nearly as invested in the issue as he is at this stage, because he has brought it to my attention quite a few times. I did pass on the letter, and I thank him for acknowledging that. I have also written a follow-up letter to the CEO asking that I be kept informed in relation to next steps, and on a serious point I will push for a timeline. Not that I'm a spokesperson for Irish Water or for Uisce Éireann, but my understanding is that they're not talking about decades before there's solutions, but I think just giving people an honest view in terms of the scale of work that will be required in terms of replacing the cast iron pipe network. That's not to say nothing is going to happen in the here and now, and indeed in the interim, but it's not an unfair point to ask for a continued timeline, and I will pursue that. I do welcome some of the work that has been done by Uisce Éireann, and I did get a sense from their correspondence that there's a high level of awareness in relation to this. I kind of make a broader point that maybe to both Deputy Barry and Deputy Murphy, and that issue of raw sewage and manholes and back gardens and stuff, horrific situations. I see them in my own constituency from time to time as well. An awful thing to happen if people have children or pets or anything in the garden as well, a horrifically distressing situation for people. It does all point to the need to invest a lot more in the water network. We all agree on that. We might have debates on how best to do that. But I am hopeful that government will be able to make some concrete decisions shortly in terms of increasing levels of public investment through Uisce Éireann in some basic infrastructure. How that gets played out in terms of specific schemes will be a matter for Uisce Éireann, but I do think there's a real need to invest a hell of a lot more in our water and sewage network as well. And I'll take away the points that Deputy Murphy made in relation to Tallaght. To Deputy O'Murcu, thank you for raising the issue around Drogheda, around BD, and let me assure you at the outset the full state support will be available. I will work with you and colleagues in Louth on this issue as well, and my immediate thoughts, as I know yours are, of course, with the workers and their families as well. And look, I think there's a broader conversation that we should have, that we want to have in relation to Drogheda and how we can continue to support Drogheda to be the enterprising town with employment that it wants to be. It's such a large town, it wants to be a city, and we're ambitious for it as well. To Deputy Boyd Barrett, where we won't have time for a full back and forth in relation to affordable housing on this occasion, let me say I think the government's taken a number of actions to try and address the issue of affordability. I do believe supply is the key, because I do believe in demand and supply, and I do believe as you increase supply, that has positive effects on demand, that has positive effects over time on price. Of course, we've also brought in a number of schemes and incentives that do help with the price somebody actually pays themselves for the house, as opposed to the headline price, be that the Help to Buy or the First Home scheme as two examples. We do obviously have social housing schemes, largest number given out last year since the 1970s, and you can see them right across every county, including in your own. And of course, we do have direct affordable housing schemes. For example, I'm looking at there's a 3-bed duplex under a government affordable housing scheme in South County Dublin available for 299,000, a 3-bed home in Mulhuddard 320,000, 3-bed house in Kilbarry in Waterford 284,000, a stone's throw away from our newest university, 9 Park in Kilkenny, a 3-bed home available for 255,000, and in the same city, Abbey Meadows is a 4-bed home available for 284,000. Cork City's White Cross, we have 3-bedroom homes available for 316,000. I give them as some examples because often outliers get referenced in this house, but these are some examples of the affordable housing schemes we have in place.